So everyone always wants to know what my RPMs look like at 70 miles an hour, right at about 2,200 RPMs. So hey everyone, so what we have here is the Access stainless steel tailgate protector. This is a pretty cool product. They sent me to install this in my truck if I wanted to put it in my truck, but because I have the spray and bed liner and because I walk on my tailgate quite a bit, this surface can be kind of slick. And they actually warn you of that right here, slippery when wet, because this is just a high-end piece of stainless steel that's attached to the inside of the tailgate. My uncle, though, he needs something like this because he has no bed protector inside of his truck, and if you look at his tailgate, it gets abused. So this is the same uncle we put the Celastics on his truck. He worked for the railroad, if you recall. And we're going to throw this on his truck today because I think it would just be a good addition to what he does. And he really never stands on his tailgate, so this would probably just be that extra layer of protection so it helps his tailgate last longer in the event, you know, something heavy hits it. Plus, it makes for a really nice flat work surface, which I think is the intent of it. They have some of these that come in like a diamond plate material, but I really like this because if you do need to work in the back of your tailgate or you're doing something and you need a nice flat surface, this is going to provide it for you. Anyways, the kit comes with self-tapping screws, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to put this in my truck, is because the self-tapping screws are zinc-coated steel screws, and when you go through, it's going to bite into the aluminum on my truck, and it could cause a galvanic corrosion, and I really didn't want that to end up happening. So we're going to put it on his truck. This shouldn't take but just a couple of minutes to put on. We're just going to line it here at the end. It has a little taper here, so if you're sliding things in, it doesn't catch, and it makes for a much smoother surface. We'll see how this looks here in a minute. The first thing we need to do is put one screw in to kind of anchor the whole assembly down. That way it doesn't want to move around if you're going to put the other screws in. So I'm going to put one right here. Moving along. Okay, so we're all done here. This literally took 5 minutes to install, except we ran into a little bit of a snag. So the self-tapping screws that we used here are about a ½ an inch long, and they go through just fine, and they hold this directly down to this end. But on the other side here, there's actually a dip underneath this portion right here, and those wouldn't reach. So fortunately, I had some 1 inch long self-tapping screws, but they have a hex head on them, so we had to attach these right here. And then we're going to run to the store. We're going to just pick up the equivalent head type, the Phillips head, of these self-tappers, and just replace them here. But just so I was able to kind of finish this video off, let you kind of see what it looks like, we went ahead and used these self-tapping screws until we get the replacements. But it looks pretty nice. Gives it a really nice clean surface. It essentially looks like it just refinished that area of the tailgate, and this is incredibly thick material. What we were going to try to do was use one of these self-tapping screws to drill a new hole that was closer to the edge so it would just attach right in, but the minute we started trying to screw into it, it literally ate the entire tip of the screw off, just trying to get through the stainless steel, and it just marred it slightly, but did nothing else other than that. And this is what's left of the self-tapping screw we attempted to drive through the stainless steel. One thing that my uncle told me, he's a big fisherman. He loves to go out and go offshore fishing or just here in the bay, and he's always looking for a good place to fillet a fish. And this is high-grade stainless steel, so technically you could probably use this as like a meal prep station. Not a bad idea if you're a fisherman. So hey folks, back at my truck, and I wanted to share something with you guys that I really like, and I wanted to give a good shout out to the folks over at Access. First of all, you know, the first experience I had with Access products really have been my bed cover. This thing has been phenomenal. You've seen several videos on it. I've endorsed this bed cover before Access even knew who I was. After I made a video on that, they contacted me and said, you know what, we really liked the video you made. We'd like to send you some equipment that you could test, see what you think about it. So over the past couple of months, they've sent me some various pieces of equipment, from this really convenient little arm reacher that you can reach into your bed to grab stuff and pull it towards you. I didn't think I would use this, but it's actually come in really practical. I had some bags and some things that were up there, and it really helped me pull it back. Plus, when we were doing some of the hurricane relief stuff, we'd have equipment and we'd have some stuff in the very back of the truck here, and it actually had no problem pulling it to me. So I was really impressed with this, and it's come in really handy. So I'm real glad I hung on to this. Anyways, when I told the folks at Access that I needed a bed cover and I was about to drop the money to buy a bed rug, they said, you know what? We want to send you what we have because we think you're going to like it. And this is the Access bed mat. Now, I thought that it would be just a thin piece of carpet. I thought it wouldn't really compare to a bed rug until I actually dropped it in my truck. Now, the reason why I preferred this setup instead of the bed rug, which typically wraps all the way around like you saw on my 2016 F450 as well as the 2017 F350 I had for a while, I liked those because it protected everything, but I did not have a spray-in bed liner in those trucks. This truck has a spray-in bed liner. Plus, if you saw the hack job I did on my bed rug on the 2017 F350, you saw that I cut out all the little holes for the lights, the plug, the clamps, and I didn't really do a great job at it. I did it actually pretty hastily, and it was kind of a messy job. Well, I didn't want to have to even deal with that this time around, so I figured because I got the spray-in bed liner around the truck, I might as well just do something on the floor. And I was just going to order the bed rug mat, basically the thing that just covers the bottom. The folks at Access said, you know what, let us send you what we have and we think you'll be impressed. This thing costs about 150 bucks. It is super thick. I thought it was going to be thin. I thought it was going to be maybe, you know, a 1/4 inch thick. It's closer to, it's a little over a 1/2 inch thick. It's about that thick. And it has more of a marine grade carpet top to it with a more of a neoprene type rubber bottom to it, whereas the bed rug has kind of like a corkboard bottom to it and a carpet top. And what I never liked about the bed rug was that it shedded. It almost like felt like you could pull it up like this and get like balls of the carpet coming off of it. This doesn't do that. This has a really nice, high quality, high-end carpet feel to it. It covers the exact bottom portion of the bed that I wanted to cover. I cut out the portion around my hitch so I could remove my hitch and just fold it back down. And this thing really has surprised me. I'm really happy with putting this in my truck instead of a bed rug. If you don't need that full surround protection, if you're kind of in the boat I am where you have a spray-in bed liner, but you do want some padding in the back and you want that extra softness back here, I would highly recommend getting the Access bed mat. To be honest with you, I thought it would be an inferior product to the bed rug, but I'm pleasantly surprised at how much better it is. Also, it's removable. So instead of using Velcro strips to attach it, they give you some button snaps and some adhesive on the back of the other side. So you basically press it down, it adheres to the bed, and then use these snaps to hold it. Those really didn't hold well on the spray-in bed liner material. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drill them out. I'm going to drill a small hole through the bed of the truck, and I'm going to use some plastic push grommets to push it in place and hold it. Right now what I've done is I've attached some Velcro strips underneath it temporarily, but I don't want this thing to blow out if I'm hauling the fifth wheel. I don't want it to be flying around or flopping around when I don't have my bed cover on. So I think this is going to be a good alternative to that. I may come up with a different solution. I probably will, quite frankly. I don't really want to drill through my bed if I can avoid it. It comes with some snaps on the other side that you can drill in, but I do not want to use a steel screw to go through an aluminum bed because, of course, it can cause corrosion. So that's not the route I'm going to go. If anything, I could put a small hole in and use those little plastic push grommets to hold it in place. I'm still on the fence on what I'm going to do here. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas, please leave it in the comment below. Anyways, guys, this is the Access truck bed mat. Absolutely love it. To me, it's a higher quality mat than the bed rug material, and I'd recommend it to anybody. And I'm not just saying that because they provided it to me. Honestly, if they provided it to me and I didn't like it, I'd give it to somebody else, or I would just, you know, not use it and I'd go with the bed rug. And I think you guys have seen that with some of the other products I've done the same with. Anyways, guys, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, everyone.